It's time. I have some spare time. So here is my VOD review
Zeus wasn't in the company.
of my VOD to explain stuff.
Dude, my arm was like cramping up having to put.
3 minutes of downtime. Here we go.
Can someone post their musket so that I can have 2 traps?
Sticky bomb does a lot of damage though.
Yes, which is like a mile away, so.
Damn, sorry, rich
I'm
guy.
just doing
guy
this
has-
video to explain
Filter
Oh.
toilet
what I
water.
like aim for on each
Alright, guys,
pull.
ready?
No,
Just
I
all
can
like the
read
little
for this,
tips and
too.
tricks I've gained. So here, obviously I have my haste set. Swap to spear great axe. First thing, if I had cannon, I don't have cannon here, but you'll see I might do it. No, I don't. But I'll line up this bird, and the clump if I can, and do cannon through all of them. But I don't always. I tried to hold off on my crowd control skills on this bird, because I mean Zephyr and Ranch also have spear, and they kind of crowd control it themselves. Here, I pray that this bird goes in. Let's see what it does.
Nah, it's potent
Oh,
gas,
it
I'm
does,
not
but I had already thrown the grav well, unfortunately. I got impatient, and that was a mistake.
gonna- Nah, it's potent.
Yeah, this grav well. I saw it jump, and I think I freaked out because I thought it was going to just jump backwards, but it actually dives in. And
Nah,
so,
it's potent,
I'm
but
missing
fast,
my
and
grav
I'm
well.
not accurate.
It's okay. Trance has me with his grav well. The big bird is your #1 priority here, because it's the last thing to die. So,
Nice.
Sundering Javelin
Clean.
on Scorpion Sting is a great way to make it die fast, because it's like 50% rend. Here is again another situation where I don't focus on using my crowd controls on this bird.
Watch this
I
one.
typically just use it for farming my light attacks on Great Axe to get refreshing move to proc to get my Grapple back.
Spiders, they're aggro on some.
Sometimes I'll have it back, sometimes I won't. And so I just do that to be safe. So I always have it back. Gravwell. This one I pull off to the side specifically to like right here, because this spider and this spider will often just body block the Gravwell. And what you're really aiming for there is the head of the reindeer, because when you do a Gravwell where it pulls them upwards, they move farther for some reason. Whereas if you throw it at the floor, they don't get pulled as much. Here, I dodge out first because my job is to get all of these 3 corvids together. Sometimes you'll get unlucky and they'll all spawn like equal distances from each other, but like in most scenarios, it's something like this, where 2 of them spawn close together and 1 of them spawns farther away. So you'll see I'll like dodge over here, Scorpion Sting this one over here. And it used to be just me doing this, but Trance has gotten a lot better with his Great Axe now, and so he'll often gravel them. So I don't have to Scorpion Sting and then gravel really quickly. I can focus more on getting it in this right position. See, Trance throws his gravel, and then now they're all clumped. Scorpion Sting's really important. Here, you're just kind of LARPing. Because you want to be up with Smart in the tank, but you don't. You have a lot of time before you have to be there, and so you can kind of throw a couple hits on the boar. Here, same thing with the Corvid. I like to Vol Kick just to get my Keen Vol Kick procced, but they'll handle it. Here, I typically wait for the reindeer to teleport, because Smart can often line of sight the reindeer to make it teleport in to right where he is, but I Gravwell early because I see the reindeer's already in there. Well, when it clumps everything, I go in and sweep. Sweep is almost always the first thing I do after Gravwell. Unfortunately, this spider just resists all. See, he got wind chilled and it still didn't move. And Spider just didn't want to get CC'd. That's the inconsistency I don't like. Reindeer, pretty easy. This part is kind of tough. You just skip everything with Smart and run ahead with Cleric. So tank and healer. Here, I'm aiming down sights to check what modifiers. It's blurry right now. Can I up this? No, I can't. This is just how I see the game because my PC is shit. I'm checking what modifiers on it. So I think this is explosive, brutal, fire resistant. Because if they're both slicer, both of these alphas, I check this other one, arboreal, fire resistance, I think, cold aura, I think is what that is. If they're both slicer, holy, that's so much void damage. And since everyone's like gemmed out for their like clear sets are typically onyxes, void damage will just melt everyone. And that's when I would pull the bird separately and like keep it outside so that we can kill it before moving to the clump. But
Neither a slicer.
yeah, I mean, you just heard me say neither a slicer. I'm gonna let them clump. Smart's pretty good at this pull. We've done some adjustments since now, but the longer you wait, the better often on this pull. Like I thought this bird was gonna jump in, but I should have waited for it. And so I also Scorpion Stinged, but this other Corvid body blocked it, and I didn't hit this one. This room is like worst case scenario right now. And yeah, he jumps down, kills Sidra, so bye-bye our biggest damager. I try to pull him a little closer while rending him,
Corvid's explosive.
but yeah, he just keeps jumping out. And yeah, the board blows up. Does his attack, we all die.
Oh.
What the fuck was that?
Yeah, I was like,
This run was pretty scuffed.
Something's exploding now.
But here, we've adjusted it, so now I stand like back here and pull this bird towards the reindeer. But how we do it at this point is I stand right where this bird is and I pull the reindeer to it, so I leave the clump early. And I mean, I misplaced my reap, but usually I can dodge out and then reap this Corvid a little bit farther in and then maelstrom them all together. I don't have gravel for this, but I should have like farmed the cooldown on something. That's just a mistake on my part. See, it's just I didn't quite get the clump. This boar will kill everyone. That slam will just kill everyone. I try my best to try and push this Corvid into the clump, but I'm just not able to. And then I swapped to my haste set here because it has a musket on it, and so I can help with these balls, but for some reason my game really doesn't like me, so none of my hits ever register. But obviously tactical reload, shoot, dodge, shoot, and then I have shooter stance if I need it. Skip forward. In the enchilada fight. Yeah, that start doesn't look typical. If I have cannon here, I'll pre-fire cannon so the cannonball is passing through Echidna just as her health bar spawns in. But you always want to open with Skyward because it's a 10% rend and it gets you into offensive stance. You can tell you're in offensive stance. The cursor is inconsistent. You can tell when your stamina drops as you heavy attack. It means you're charging them quicker. But now here I hit cannon. This is difficult. Slam will one-shot you if you don't have crowded bludgeon, that fortify that your flail gives you. Sidra kind of opens with it, and so I had it here because it was the first animation she did. But if I didn't have it, you just get one shot. There's nothing really you can do. You can try and swap to rapier, but that animation takes some time, and I often find I just get trapped in the animation and can't react in time to get out riposte or flurry it through it. The animation's too long to dodge through it, so either you triple dodge out and then you have a nightmare getting back in, or you just hope you have bludgeon. But yeah, I swapped to rapier for a second, just because I fat fingered my shift key, and I have swap to control. So we're gonna ignore that, and I was also lagging a little bit. Yeah, I dodged right here, but my latency is really bad. Until I get a better PC, which should happen next week. And so I just tank that, but luckily I have refreshing move, so I almost always have relentless rush up. I mean, you saw that. I just like stutter so bad here. Oh wait, that was too far. Anyways, she spits out crystals. It's not my responsibility anymore, so I just stay on the leg, heavy attacking, making sure I'm in onslaught. So I skyward every time I can to make sure I'm always on onslaught stance. Take 15% more damage, but you do heavies way quicker. There, I swapped to rapier in time because I could anticipate that it was there, and our stamina is getting low, and we're at 50%, so I don't want to keep going with heavy attacks on my greatsword. Otherwise, I might stamp her early. But now I know she's about to enter the animation, so I'm safe to bring it down to like right on the line. Exactly. That was a little risky, but it's okay. Try and save Relentless Rush for when she tips, because it allows you to move through her body, and so you can immediately get to where you need to be, and you're in onslaught stance. This is your best option, but here it's always just a gamble whether or not you have the DPS to finish her before she screams. I think we die, but she dies to the damage over time. Skip to here. Oh, this pull. This pull, same thing. This spider will often body block you. Same with these turrets. These turrets are such a pain. So I like to run all the way over here to the other side of Gravwell, and Salter typically pushes this reindeer in with his wind chill, and I wait for the reindeer to be in there to Gravwell. See, there's his wind chill, and I saw it coming out as the animation, so I pre-graved well. Trance's Gravwell is over here. He's still learning how to use Great Axe. But I mean, I'm the Clumper, and so my job is to keep everything. So I see this Corvid jumps out, I'm like, uh-oh. Because oftentimes, if a Corvid jumps out, it'll jump like all the way back to the shrine, and it'll just be a big time loss. So I tried Scorpion Sting it, I miss. We're not going to talk about that. I reaped this Corvid to be a little closer, so that when they're done, they can just immediately dodge. But it ends up jumping anyways, so that's low-key my fault. Reindeer and Spider were LARPing. I Scorpion Sting so we can kill it faster. Swap to haste.
Echo, do you have the Scorpion Sting cooldown?
Yeah, what we've worked out here now is that, okay, important thing, if the Corvid is not fully up to steps, if you Scorpion Sting, it won't move it. It'll just fall over where it is if it's not all the way up the steps. And so you have to kind of wait a second. And don't worry, because this boar has so much health. This has like a 10th of the health, this Corvid. And so as long as you get it near it, all the damage that everyone else is dealing to the boar, it'll just vaporize this Corvid. So I Scorpion Sting, he wind chills, and now I turn.
Nice, guys.
And yeah, Maelstrom and Reap are both pretty high DPS abilities. Spamming light attacks are good. Then here, we skip forward. This is just the big skip.
Like, I'm literally faster with my regular set and me just running.
We go left, and I like to treat this corner as where I know I need to Gravwell, because it's about 10 meters away from these spiders. So just as I pass the corner, I throw the Gravwell. Fantastic, the spiders don't come together. That's just unlucky. Half the times they'll stack like in each other, and so it's super easy because you can hit them with all of your CCs, but the other half they'll just not go together for some reason. Big thing about this pull is if you're filling for my role, Smart and Ranch We both also have spear. We do not have a healer, so if we get hit by these spiders, we're screwed. And so it's very important that we all time our spear abilities to keep them controlled. And so, like I said, one of the first things you do after gravwelling almost always is sweep. I'm the first sweep. I throw my gravwell, dodge in, and sweep. Obviously, this sweep just got screwed because the gravwell didn't pull him. But my typical rotation is sweep, dodge out. I'm sure I'm going to do with a heavy attack. Oh, I actually swapped a Great Axe here because I saw they were far apart and I saw an opportunity to Maelstrom. Then I swapped to Spear and Vault Kick because that's also a heavy stun for like 2 seconds. Chav doesn't hit for some reason. Boy oh boy do I love Bug World. And then I almost always stand on this bottom one. Smart was staying there because he had to do whatever, so I run ahead.
Doors open.
We're usually finished a bit before 2, and so don't worry about stepping on the right button because you'll figure it out before 2 figures it out.
Other people eat.
Hopefully.
Race ahead.
I'll check it out after.
And now I'm running Butcher
I can't remember
Hatchet.
right now.
Hope so.
The main part of
Wait, I need to make
that you need to think about when you're running this build is that
Not letting me put it in.
Hatchet is marginally better DPS, and it's only when you have Berserk up.
You're good.
That's okay.
And so
Yep, warm up.
There we go.
it's almost always
Start it.
better to just stay on your Butcher and Whirling Blade when you can. Because that applies a fat dot. I wish I had floating numbers on right now, but there's so many bleeds that stack. But Whirling Blade is your #1 priority here because it's your highest DPS, even more than Upheaval because you're running Butcher. It applies 3 Keenly Jaggeds through Upheaval, through Whirling Blade, plus your normal Keenly Jagged. You do like 40% to 50% bleed damage. So you can block with your shield, you won't get stamped from this roar. Same thing here. Your #1 priority is get your 2 Whirling Blades up, and then you can swap to Hatchet. Or if you have vines above your head, then you can swap to Hatchet to still do damage with throwing Hatchet. But your main priority is getting your Whirling Blades up.
I also forgot to use
Skip. I like to save Berserk for ad phase, so you have grit and the lifesteal you get from Berserk, and so it's easier to stay alive during ad phase when you have Berserk active. Third phase, very similar. Get your Whirling Blades up. Big pull doesn't really matter. I'm an idiot and I die because I'm being careless. This pull we've changed a little bit, but mainly you just aim for this elephant's head. And then dodge in, sweep. We just cooked ourselves with this run. And my loading screens take 20 seconds. Yeah. This takes like 3 minutes to get to cleanse room. In cleanse room, the first pull, I kind of aim right between where I know the elephant and I forget what this mob is, spawn, because that will pull these 2 spiders as well. And again, it's super inconsistent. Like, here, I'll throw it, and it only pulls these 2. It doesn't pull the gorilla. You can also Scorpion Sting the big bird in, but we've stopped doing that because I often found it would just kill me. And it was better that I stayed alive. I Scorpion Sting the gorilla in by rending it too. I see big bird. Whenever I see a bird jump up, I hold block, so that I don't just die, like Glabs. Psh, rookie. And then this next pull is pretty. If you have Scorpion Sting up, Scorpion Sting this boar right on top of you, and then Maelstrom in between them, or Gravity Well in between them, they're all immediately clumped. It's a pretty easy pull to think about. Skip ahead. There's nothing really unique about this. Until here, I like to kind of Zephyr typically throws his own Gravity Well, but sometimes he misses the bird. So I'll Scorpion Sting the bird and or Reap Maelstrom, and then I'm the Clumper. I just sit on Spear and just try to hold them down. Here, the quickest way to deal with these vines is Maelstrom. Maelstrom will take them out. I Vault Kick into here to get my Keen Vault Kick. I know Labs is going to pull, so I hold out my Great Axe so I can Maelstrom them together. Yep. And then sweep. Yep. Almost always when you clump something with Great Axe, you'll just immediately swap to Spear and sweep. Here, again, fastest way to do this. This pull is just weird. He wasn't able to pull them early like we normally do, and so I just throw my Scorpion Sting and pull them. This can either go really, really bad like that, where the grab well doesn't pull a single one of the mobs, or it can go pretty easy. And so your main priority is just trying to keep at least 2 of the mobs together and just clamp down on them. And then Medusa, I'll explain another time, but that's kind of my role.